You're about to see the top 5 major NBA trades most likely to happen either in 2020's NBA offseason or in the 2021 season. With trade season having opened up on November 16th, the Lakers have already traded for Dennis Schroeder, the Phoenix Suns have landed CP3, and the Bucks have landed Drew Holiday and Bogdan Bogdanovic. But this video covers the deals that are going to shake up the league even more than that. Stick around till the end to see which deals are the likeliest to happen. Welcome back to D-Flow Hoops. If this is your first time here and you're a basketball fan interested in NBA rankings, predictions, and stories, subscribe and hit notifications. I post content like this twice a week and would be honored to have you a part of this channel. Number 5, Kevin Love to Golden State. One of the NBA's worst kept secrets is that the Warriors are looking to add size to their roster to compete with the reigning champion LA Lakers. Even if they draft James Wiseman, to beat the Lake Show 4 times in a series, the Warriors need a veteran big man capable of spacing opposing defenses while being able to grab boards in traffic down low at the same time. Kevin Love not only provides that, but he's also won a ring of his own against these very Warriors back in 2016. In 2020, though, the Dubs could trade Andrew Wiggins and their 2022 first-round pick to acquire LeBron's former running mate. K-Love does have a hefty $31 million cap hit, but would give the Warriors a big man rotation capable of dealing with Anthony Davis. Golden State would then need to acquire a few veterans on the wing after making this move, but having Kevin would allow them to be able to move Draymond in a separate deal. Love isn't getting any younger, as he's 32 years old and will likely be requesting a trade as the season progresses. Let's be real here, Green took a massive step back in 2020, and teams are going to leave him open at the three-point line, and the man's frankly going to sell the Warriors in a series against the Clippers, Nuggets, or Lakers. The Warriors need Kevin Love to space the floor and ease the pressure off the Splash Brothers. I think they should make this move during the 2021 season. Number 4, DeMar DeRozan to LA. It sure as hell seems like the San Antonio Spurs guard wants to be in Los Angeles. As on the All the Smoke podcast, here's what he had to say.
By a championship team that just came off a championship, to see that, how could you not feel some type of way, especially me being from LA, it's like, damn, my hometown team want me. They just came off a championship. They want me. You know what I mean? So
everyone wants to be wanted, and for this deal to go down, it's not a question of whether the Lakers need DeMar DeRozan, but if they want to give up Kyle Kuzma, Avery Bradley, and a first-round pick for him. LA's already lost a slasher in Danny Green, but by re-signing Caldwell Pope, potentially picking up a veteran who takes a pay cut like Danilo Gallinari, plus players already under contract who can shoot like LeBron, AD, Caruso, and Morris, the Lake Show will be alright from behind the arc. But they need DeRozan because with the blockbuster trade rumors and completed moves already, contenders are clearly hungry and willing to make plays to advance their title odds. The Dennis Schroeder pickup was nice, but let's face it, the Lakers' path to a 2021 title is going to be way tougher than it was in 2020. DeMar DeRozan's been a 4-time All-Star and been named to 2 All-NBA teams, but when he came up short as the number 1 option in Toronto, GM wizard Masai Ujiri turned him into Kawhi. And maybe DeRozan struggled as a three-point shooter. As a Laker, he'd be the 3rd scorer though, and with defensive game plans focused on 2 other players, who knows how good DeMar could become. He's never been close to experiencing what it's like to be the 3rd scorer, and I think he'd make things a lot easier on the King and AD. Number 3, Oladipo to Toronto. After reports suggested Victor Oladipo could be a trade target of contending teams around the league, the 2-time All-Star has rejected those claims according to recent reports, but Oladipo's impending 2021 free agency could find him in new threads sooner than later. He's owed $21 million in the final year of his contract, and it's very likely that he and the Pacers part ways in free agency, given he's not entertaining an extension before the upcoming season. Also, with how TJ Warren developed last year and how well the Pacers played without Victor, Larry Bird in the Pacers front office wouldn't be opposed to moving the 2-time All-Star. Before his injury, Oladipo had broken out into one of the best two-way guards in basketball. However, he's coming off a 2020 season where he played just 19 games and put up a career low in scoring and efficiency by far. For his inability to stay on the floor and avoid injury, Victor's value took a massive hit, trade value that is, but for his reputation when he's fully healthy, getting Oladipo is going to require a good amount to give up, but the Raptors could pull off a sign-and-trade with either Fred VanVleet or Serge Ibaka, while throwing in a young player with potential like Chris Boucher or Terrence Davis to put Oladipo next to Lowry in the backcourt. Norman Powell's $10 million cap hit could also be used to complete a deal, but the Indianapolis Stars' Jay Michael reported that the 28-year-old guard Oladipo drew the ire of teammates last year by openly asking if the opposition could trade for him in front of them. Source told Michael that on at least 3 different occasions against the Toronto Raptors, Miami Heat, and New York Knicks, Oladipo asked opposing players, quote-unquote, "Can I come play with y'all?" or a similar phrase. If Oladipo regains form, then he's one of the best guard defenders in all of basketball, and a clutch dynamic shot creator on the other end. He wouldn't have a Kawhi-type impact, but he would take a ton of pressure off Lowry and Siakam. In 2020's playoffs, when they were tied up with the Celtics in Game 7 of the East Semis, Toronto made crucial mistakes in the final moments. Oladipo's shot-creating star power and leadership is exactly what the Raptors need and are looking for. It may not happen until the deadline, but don't be surprised if Oladipo moves north in the near future. Number 2, Russell Westbrook to Charlotte. Brody wants out of Houston after just one season where his reputation took another massive hit. The Rockets would be a better team if they traded him, and it's fair to question now how valuable Westbrook really still is. But if there's one man who'd be looking for the star power of the former MVP, it'd be Hornets owner Michael Jordan, and that's been exactly the case. The Ringer's Kevin O'Connor's reported that the Hornets have emerged as the favorite to land Russell, and that MJ's interested in acquiring him. Jordan's interest in Westbrook is not overly surprising considering the fact that Westbrook has a massive long-term apparel deal with Jordan Brand. If the league's able to pack arenas next year at some point, then the 9-time All-Star could sell a ton of tickets with his explosive two-way play style. I don't know if I'd want him influencing Devontae Graham if I'm a Hornets fan, but the Hornets could easily put together some assets and have Russell Westbrook before the start of next season. Number 1, James Harden to Brooklyn. The rumors are that James Harden is trying to force his way via trade to Brooklyn. Woj, Ramona Shelburne, and Zach Lowe of ESPN reported Sunday that the idea of going to Brooklyn was quote-unquote resonating with Harden, and the Nets were quote-unquote considering the viability of a deal. You can't forget recently, Harden declined a $50 million contract and that Houston has a new GM in Raphael Stone after the firing of Daryl Morey. Stone's expected to find an answer for why the Rockets are continuing to come up short of getting past the conference finals. He's already traded away Robert Covington. If you're Raphael, maybe it's time to realize how good the Western Conference is right now and look towards a rebuild. Don't get it twisted though. James Harden's a top 10 player, so Brooklyn would have to give up a whole lot. But the Nets have a ton of assets to make this a great trade for the Rockets' future, believe it or not. I'll get to everything the Nets have to offer the Rockets, but for the Nets, this deal would revolve around giving up Karis LeVert, who's still 26 years old. He significantly increased his scoring annually in his 4 career seasons. If you're Houston's GM, you could throw in another rising player in Jarrett Allen, plus another 20-point scorer in Spencer Dinwiddie to this trade. But it's the draft picks that Brooklyn would also offer up that would really make this deal intriguing. The Nets have acquired a ton of draft picks in recent years, as they not only have 2 first-round picks in the 2020 NBA draft, but have 5 second-round picks in 2021's NBA draft. Considering Brooklyn also owns all of their first-round picks up until 2027, they'll have a ton to offer up for the league's top scorer. But if this deal went down, the Nets would be an NBA version of Team USA, and the Beard, the Snake, and Uncle Drew would give any team in the game all they could handle, regardless of the roster around them. This would be a great move for both sides, and something that could happen sooner than you think. 2 comments or shoutouts to Big Man for saying that his favorite underrated player is Jaylen Brown, and to Kardik for saying that LaMelo Ball has the most potential in the 2020 NBA draft. The question for next video's shoutout is, which trade on this list is either most or least likely to happen? Keep watching some of my recent uploads. This was D-Flow, and I'll see you next video.